Quick like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. You know what's supposed to be healthy? Going to bed early, getting enough sleep, taking care of yourself. When your wife starts on a bed at 9 p.m. instead of staying up until 11 with you, it seems responsible, maybe even admirable. Unless she's not actually sleeping. Unless going to bed early just means going to a different room where you can't see her phone screen. Unless the bedroom door you hear close at 9 p.m. isn't followed by silence, but by hours of buzzing, chiming, vibrating, the constant notification sounds of someone having very active conversations they don't want you to see. My wife started going to bed early 3 months ago. Said she was exhausted, needed more sleep, wanted to establish healthier habits. Every night at 9 p.m., she'd yawn, say she was tired, kiss me goodnight, and go upstairs to bed. I'd stay up until 11 or midnight, working on projects, watching TV, enjoying the quiet evening hours. Then one night I noticed something. Our bedroom is directly above the living room. And starting around 9:30 p.m., right after my wife went to sleep, I'd hear constant buzzing, vibrations, phone notifications, for hours, until past midnight. My wife wasn't going to bed early to sleep. She was going to bed early to text someone in private. Someone who kept her phone buzzing constantly for 3 to 4 hours every single night. My name is Peter. I'm 40 years old, and I work as a network security analyst for a tech company in Seattle, Washington. I spend my days monitoring data traffic, identifying unusual patterns, and recognizing when network behavior doesn't match normal usage. I understand communication patterns, frequency analysis, and what it means when someone suddenly changes their digital behavior dramatically. I just never thought I need to apply network analysis principles to understand why my wife's phone was getting hundreds of notifications every night while she was supposedly sleeping. I met Diana 12 years ago at a friend's wedding in downtown Seattle. She was working as an HR manager for a healthcare company, personable and organized in ways that balanced my more technical, introverted nature. I was the systems guy. She was the people person. We complemented each other well. We got married 10 years ago, bought a house in the Ballard neighborhood, a 2-story craftsman with a master bedroom directly above the living room. Diana continued in HR, eventually becoming senior manager. I advanced to senior security analyst. Combined income around $230,000. We were stable, successful, living comfortably in Seattle. For 9 years, we had similar routines. We'd both stay up until around 11 p.m., Diana reading or watching shows, me working on side projects or gaming. We'd go to bed together around the same time, our schedules naturally aligned. Then 3 months ago, in early August, Diana's schedule suddenly changed. I think I need to start going to bed earlier, she announced one evening. I've been exhausted lately. I'm not getting enough sleep. You feeling okay? Yeah, just tired. I think staying up until 11 every night is catching up with me. I'm going to try to go to bed at 9, see if it helps. It seemed reasonable. Healthy even. Getting more sleep is important. That first night, Diana yawned around 8:45 p.m. I'm heading to bed. Good night. Sleep well. She went upstairs. I heard the bedroom door close. Heard her moving around for a few minutes, then silence. I stayed downstairs, working on a coding project. The house was quiet. Then around 9:30, I heard it. A buzz. Then another. Then constant vibrating sounds coming from upstairs. Her phone. Getting notifications. Constantly. I figured maybe she'd left her phone on and was getting spam notifications. Didn't think much of it. But over the next week, the pattern continued. Diana would go to bed at 9 p.m. By 9:30, the buzzing would start. Constant notifications for hours. After 2 weeks, I started paying closer attention. The buzzing wasn't random. It was consistent, rhythmic like a conversation. Buzz, pause, buzz, buzz, pause, buzz. The pattern of text message exchanges. Someone sending a message, Diana responding, them replying, back and forth. For hours. Every night. One night I counted. Between 9:30 p.m. and midnight, I heard approximately 180 separate notification sounds. That's roughly one every minute for 2.5 hours. No one texts that much unless they're having very active, very engaged conversations. I tried asking Diana about it casually. Your phone was going crazy last night. Lots of notifications. Everything okay? Oh, Probably just work stuff. Group chats can get busy. At 10 p.m., we have team members in different time zones. Sometimes late-night conversations happen. Plausible. HR teams do work across time zones. But the notifications kept happening. Every single night. Starting the moment Diana went to bed. After a month of this pattern, I decided to investigate more systematically. I'm a network analyst. This is what I do professionally. First, I checked our home Wi-Fi logs. I can see all connected devices and their data usage. Diana's phone showed massive data usage between 9 p.m. and midnight every night. Way more than normal background activity. Consistent with active messaging, photo sharing, video streaming. She wasn't sleeping. She was actively using her phone for hours. Then I noticed something else in the network logs. Diana's phone was connecting to our Wi-Fi from a device I didn't recognize, an iPad that wasn't on our family device list. She had a second device, something she'd never mentioned, something that wasn't appearing in our shared iCloud family account. I checked our credit card statements, found a charge from Apple Store dated July 15th, $549 for an iPad, purchased 3 weeks before Diana started her early bedtime routine. She bought an iPad and hidden it from me. Used it to create a separate communication channel I wasn't supposed to know about. The going to bed early was about accessing that iPad privately, using it to communicate with someone without me seeing her phone screen. I needed more information, needed to understand who she was talking to and what they were discussing. One evening in mid-September, I told Diana I had a work emergency. Server issue. I need to work late tonight, probably until 2 or 3 a.m. Don't wait up. Okay. I'll go to bed at my normal time. Good luck with the servers. She went upstairs at 9 p.m. as usual. I heard the bedroom door close. I stayed downstairs, lights off, volume muted on my laptop. Waiting. At 9:32 p.m., the buzzing started. Right on schedule. I crept upstairs quietly. The bedroom door was closed, but not locked. A sliver of light showed underneath. She was awake, using her devices. I positioned myself in the hallway. Listened. I could hear Diana's voice. Quiet but talking. Not on a phone call. The cadence was wrong. She was recording voice messages. I know, I miss you too. Just a few more hours until I can talk freely. He's supposed to be working until late tonight, so I have time. I wish you were here right now. She was sending voice messages to someone. Someone she missed. Someone she wished was there. I heard notification sounds. She was receiving responses. More talking. Tomorrow afternoon should work. He has that client meeting at 2, so I can meet you at 3. Same place as last week. I can't wait to see you. She was planning to meet someone. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. While I was supposedly at a client meeting, I recorded everything on my phone. Every word I could hear through the door. Then I quietly went back downstairs. Waited until 11:30 p.m. Came upstairs making normal noise. Heavy footsteps, turning on lights like I just finished working. Opened the bedroom door. Diana was in bed. iPad quickly hidden under her pillow. Eyes closed, pretending to sleep. Hey, just finished. Sorry it took so long. She stirred. Acted like I'd woken her up. Oh, hi. How'd it go? Fixed. I'm exhausted. Going to crash. Okay. Good night. I got into bed. Lay there in the dark. Diana's iPad was under her pillow, inches from my head. She'd been using it for hours, then hid it the moment she heard me coming upstairs. The next day was Friday. Diana mentioned she had errands to run in the afternoon. I'll be out from about 3 to 5. Need to pick up some things. Sure. I have that client meeting at 2 anyway. Except I didn't have a client meeting. I made that up to see what Diana would do. At 2 p.m., I left the house as if going to my meeting. Drove to my office. Parked in the garage. Then I installed a tracking app on our shared cell account. Diana's phone location would now be visible to me in real time. At 2:47 p.m., Diana's phone location showed she was leaving our house. I watched as she drove, not to shopping areas, but toward Capitol Hill. Stopped at an address I didn't recognize. An apartment building on 15th Avenue. She stayed there until 4:52 p.m. 2 hours at an apartment. When she came home at 5:15 p.m., she had shopping bags. Had clearly stopped at stores on the way back to create an alibi. How were your errands? Good. Got everything I needed. How was your meeting? Productive. That night, Diana went to bed at 9 p.m. as usual. I stayed downstairs. The buzzing started at 9:35 p.m. I listened to the pattern, counted approximately 220 notification sounds between 9:35 and midnight. Someone was messaging her constantly. Someone she'd visited for 2 hours that afternoon. I needed to identify who this person was. Needed evidence beyond location data and overheard voice messages. On Saturday morning, Diana went to the gym, left her iPad at home. I'd watched her routine enough to know she took her phone to the gym but left the iPad in our bedroom. The moment her car pulled out of the driveway, I went upstairs, found the iPad hidden under her side of the mattress. Pulled it out. It was locked with a passcode. But I know Diana's password patterns. She uses variations of the same base code for everything. Tried her standard password. Didn't work. Tried her work password. Didn't work. Tried our anniversary date. Worked. The iPad unlocked. Opened the Messages app. Found one conversation thread that dwarfed all others. Thousands of messages over the past 3 months. The contact name, J. Red Heart. I scrolled through messages. Read hundreds of exchanges. Diana and Jay texting from 9 p.m. until past midnight every single night. Intimate messages. Love confessions. Plans to meet. Discussions about when we can finally be together openly. Photos. Diana had sent photos. Intimate photos I'd never seen. Photos taken in our bedroom, in our bathroom, in our house. Jay had sent photos back. Shirtless mirror selfies. Bedroom photos. Explicit images. I scrolled back to the beginning. Found where it started. July 18th. 3 months ago. Diana's first message to Jay. It was so good to see you today. I can't stop thinking about you. Jay's response, same. When can we see each other again? From there, the messages escalated quickly. Within a week, they were texting for hours every night. Within 2 weeks, they were exchanging intimate photos. Within 3 weeks, they were meeting in person. I found references to meetings. August 3rd, your apartment is perfect. I love having private space with you. August 17th, 2 hours isn't enough. I want whole evenings with you. September 5th, I hate that I have to go home to him. I want to stay here with you. September 22nd, yesterday, tomorrow at 3. Can't wait to feel your arms around me again. Yesterday's meeting, the apartment on Capitol Hill, 2 hours together. I took screenshots of everything, hundreds of messages, photos, plans, love confessions. Then I looked at Jay's contact information, found a phone number, reverse searched it. Jonathan Miller, age 34, works in tech sales, lives at the Capitol Hill address where Diana had visited yesterday. Found his social media. LinkedIn showed he'd started at Diana's company, the healthcare company where she works in HR, 6 months ago. They'd met through work. Diana in HR, Jonathan in sales. Started as workplace acquaintances, evolved into an affair. The timeline made sense now. Jonathan started at her company in April. By July, they were texting. By August, she was visiting his apartment. By September, they were discussing leaving their spouses. I found messages about Diana wanting to tell Peter and Jonathan encouraging her to wait for the right time. I put the iPad back exactly where I'd found it. Diana came home from the gym an hour later, completely unaware I'd accessed her device. That night, Saturday, Diana went to bed at 9 p.m. Good night. Love you. Love you too. She went upstairs. I stayed in the living room. At 9:37 p.m., the buzzing started. I opened the tracking app I'd installed, pulled up the messages I'd screenshotted, knew exactly what was happening. Diana was upstairs texting Jonathan, probably saying good night after spending all day together, probably planning their next meeting. I called a divorce attorney, left a voicemail requesting a Monday morning consultation. Then I did something I've been planning. I connected my laptop to our home network and ran a packet analysis. Captured all the data traffic from Diana's iPad. Watched in real time as messages were sent and received. Couldn't see the content. That's encrypted, but could see the frequency, the packet sizes, the constant back and forth. Between 9:37 p.m. and 11:43 p.m., Diana's iPad sent and received 847 separate data packets. consistent with approximately 200 text messages exchanged. 200 messages in 2 hours, while sleeping in our bedroom, while I sat downstairs listening to her phone buzz. Sunday, I told Diana I needed to work from the office. All day, she asked. Probably until evening. Security audit that can't wait. Okay, I'll find something to do. I left, but I didn't go to the office. I went to Jonathan Miller's apartment building, parked across the street where I could see the entrance. At 1:47 p.m., Diana's car pulled up. She got out, went inside. Building directory showed J. Miller in Unit 304. I waited. At 2:03 p.m., I saw them through a third-floor window. Diana and Jonathan, embracing, kissing, moving away from the window. I took photos, time-stamped images of Diana entering Jonathan's building, of them visible through the window together. She stayed until 5:34 p.m., nearly 4 hours. Came home at 6:15 p.m. Hey, you're back. How was work? Productive. How was your day? Relaxing. Just caught up on errands and reading. She'd spent 4 hours at her boyfriend's apartment and told me she'd been doing errands and reading. That night, Diana went to bed at 9 p.m. The buzzing started at 9:40 p.m. I sat downstairs, listening to the constant notifications, knowing exactly who was texting her and what they were probably discussing. Monday morning, I met with the divorce attorney. Her name was Sarah Chun. My wife started going to bed early 3 months ago. Says she needs more sleep. But every night, starting around 9:30 p.m., her phone buzzes constantly for hours. I investigated and discovered she bought a hidden iPad, has been texting someone named Jonathan Miller hundreds of times per night, and visiting his apartment multiple times per week. Sarah reviewed the evidence I'd gathered. Screenshots of thousands of messages. Photos of Diana at Jonathan's apartment. Network traffic data showing hundreds of nightly conversations. Location tracking proving regular visits to his address. This is comprehensive evidence. The hidden iPad, the systematic deception about bedtime, the thousands of messages. This shows deliberate, ongoing infidelity. The fact that she's using early bedtime as cover for private communication makes the deception even more calculated. I want to file immediately. We can file today. Do you want to confront her first? Yes, tonight. I want her to know exactly what I discovered and how. That evening, Diana came home from work at her normal time. How was your day? She asked. Interesting. I learned some things. We need to talk. About what? About why you started going to bed at 9 p.m. 3 months ago. Her face changed slightly. Guarded. I told you I needed more sleep. Except you're not sleeping. Every night, your phone buzzes constantly from 9:30 until past midnight. I can hear it through the floor. That's just work notifications. It's not work. It's Jonathan Miller, your boyfriend. She went completely white. How do you? I'm a network security analyst. I monitor data traffic for a living. Did you really think I wouldn't notice your iPad using massive amounts of data every night? Or that you bought an iPad you never mentioned to me? I pulled out my phone, showed her the screenshots. These are from your hidden iPad. Thousands of messages with Jay over the past 3 months. Jonathan Miller, who works at your company, who lives in Capitol Hill, whose apartment you've been visiting multiple times per week. You went through my iPad. I went through an iPad hidden in our house that you purchased with our joint credit card and never told me about. The iPad you use every night while pretending to sleep. The iPad that buzzes constantly for hours while I sit downstairs listening. I showed her the network traffic data. This is a graph of your iPad's data usage. Every night, massive spikes from 9:30 p.m. to midnight. Consistent with hundreds of text messages. The early bedtime was never about sleep. It was about having private time to text your boyfriend without me seeing your screen. It's not what you think. I have photos of you entering Jonathan's apartment building yesterday, staying for 4 hours. You told me you were running errands. You were at his apartment. I pulled up the messages on my phone. Read them aloud. I hate that I have to go home to him. I want to stay here with you. That was September 5th. Tomorrow at 3. Can't wait to feel your arms around me again. That was September 22nd, the day you told me you had errands. I love you so much. I can't wait until we can be together all the time. That was last night, September 30th, while you were supposedly sleeping and I was listening to your phone buzz for 2 hours straight. Diana was crying. I was going to tell you. When? You've been seeing Jonathan for 3 months. Texting him hundreds of times every night. Visiting his apartment multiple times per week. Planning a future with him. When exactly were you going to tell me? I didn't know how, so you created an elaborate system instead. Bought a hidden iPad. Started going to bed early to have private texting time. Met him at his apartment while lying about errands. All while I sat downstairs every night listening to your phone buzz constantly, knowing something was wrong, but trusting you when you said it was work notifications. I handed her divorce papers Sarah had prepared. I'm filing for divorce. You'll be served officially tomorrow, but I wanted you to see these tonight. Our marriage is over. Where am I supposed to go? Go to Jonathan. You've been spending all your free time with him anyway. You telling you love him every night. You want to be with him all the time. Here's your chance. What about work? We work at the same company. That's your problem. You chose to have an affair with a coworker. You deal with the professional consequences. She packed a bag, left around 9 p.m., her normal bedtime. I sat in the living room. The house was silent. No buzzing, no notifications, no constant phone activity from upstairs. Just quiet. The divorce moved quickly. Diana tried to argue I'd violated her privacy by accessing her iPad. Sarah shut that down. Mr. Hayes accessed a device purchased with joint marital funds, hidden in the marital home, being used to facilitate adultery. There's no privacy protection for devices used to commit infidelity. We presented everything. The thousands of messages with Jonathan. The network traffic data showing hundreds of nightly conversations. Location tracking proving regular visits to Jonathan's apartment. Photos of Diana entering his building. Diana had no defense. The evidence was overwhelming. We settled after 7 weeks. I kept the house. Diana got 25% of joint accounts. No spousal support. The settlement specifically noted that Diana had used marital funds to purchase devices facilitating an affair and had engaged in systematic deception over 3 months. 10 years of marriage ended because she started going to bed early and I heard her phone buzzing all night. I heard through mutual friends that Diana's relationship with Jonathan lasted about 6 weeks after our separation. Once the affair became a real relationship without the excitement of sneaking around, they discovered they didn't actually have much in common. Diana's professional reputation at her company also suffered. HR managers having affairs with sales employees creates conflicts of interest. She eventually transferred to a different company. About a year later, I met someone at a tech security conference. Her name was Lauren, cybersecurity specialist. Understood network behavior, data patterns, and the importance of honest communication. On our 4th date, she asked about my divorce. My wife started going to bed at 9 p.m. every night. Said she needed more sleep. But I'd hear her phone buzzing constantly for hours every night. Turned out she wasn't sleeping. She was texting her boyfriend. Lauren looked puzzled. How did you find out? I'm a network analyst. I noticed massive data usage from her devices every night between 9:30 and midnight. She bought a hidden iPad specifically for the affair. The early bedtime was just an excuse to text him privately without me seeing her screen. How many messages? Thousands over 3 months. Roughly 200 per night. I could hear every notification through the floor, buzz, 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 for hours, while she was supposedly sleeping. What did you do? Track her location, found out she was visiting his apartment multiple times per week. Accessed the hidden iPad when she was at the gym. Found all the messages, photos, plans. Confronted her with everything. We've been together 13 months. Lauren goes to bed at the same time I do. No hidden devices. No constant notifications. No buzzing phones. Just honest communication. She started going to bed early. Said she needed more sleep. Every night at 9 p.m. Leaving me downstairs alone. While her phone buzzed. Constantly. For hours. Buzz. 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 Through the floor. From our bedroom. Where she was supposedly sleeping. But the buzzing told a different story. Hundreds of notifications. Every single night. For 3 months. The phone that never stopped. The iPad hidden under the mattress. The boyfriend she texted until midnight. While I listened from downstairs. to the constant buzzing of a phone that should have been silent if she'd actually been sleeping. But she wasn't sleeping. She was texting hundreds of messages every night to someone named Jay, while I sat below, listening to every buzz, every notification, every vibration. That told me she wasn't sleeping, just pretending.